Have you been thinking about relocating to Las Vegas, but you're not quite sure where you're going to start at? Well, you're not alone. I'm going to take you through the process of making a smooth move to Las Vegas and the surrounding area with all the tips. And we have this little handy checklist, and you actually have a chance to contribute to the checklist in the future to make sure that you have what you need and other people have what they need. Real quick, if you want to talk about your real estate goals, my information is below. Call, text, email, and we're waiting to help you if you're moving 9 days from now, 90 days, even next year. Always here to help. So it's time to start the show. As you know, in the good old days, it used to be that you could get anywhere here in Las Vegas and, like 20, 25 minutes, but it's no longer the case. Metro area is growing so fast. Actually, researching the neighborhoods you're interested in, it's going to be very crucial to you getting off on the right foot. On the surface, when you're looking at these neighborhoods, I always suggest to my clients that they drive around the neighborhood for a little bit, especially like for an entire afternoon and get the vibe, especially after they've made their offer, because, you have that due diligence time. You want to make sure that that really is the place you want to be at. If you find a house that you really like, you can drive that neighborhood, especially before you put in an offer so you don't waste any of your time. That will tell you a lot about whether or not you're going to like the neighborhood or not. And, where that house is located is where you're going to probably be for a few years. And you want to make sure that it fits your lifestyle. Things like, how far is the grocery store? How far is Walmart? What the schools may be like if you have a family. So is it in an HOA or is it not in an HOA? If people have their cars up on blocks like it's in Arkansas or something like that, I already know that somebody from Arkansas is going to start writing in, why are you saying something about Arkansas? I don't know. And that's one of the things you need to look at. So next, what about your job? Is it easy to get to work? Are you still working? What about the other places you want to go? Maybe you retired and you want to be down at the casino spending your grandkids' money. Always not leave them money. Enjoy yourself. So what is going to be the neighborhood that fits your ultimate lifestyle? Keep in mind, let's say you're a sports player. You got the Raiders and you got the Golden Knights, world champions. Hey, maybe even the Aces. Those Raider players, a lot of them are living in Southern Highlands or in Inspirada and Henderson near the headquarters. If you want to be close to those Raider practice facilities, or let's say you need to be close to the airport because you have a job, because some people live in California or have a lot of family in California, and they're flying back and forth to LA or San Francisco. Because, it is a little bit cheaper to live here. There are good neighborhoods within 10 to 20 minutes drive from our world-class Harry Reid Airport. Are you into horses? Bringing those to Las Vegas? Then you may want to look in the Northwest by Centennial Hills, where there's lots of horse property. Now, there's also horse properties on the east side, some parts of Henderson. Believe it or not, there is horse property just south of the airport. So keep in mind, research first before you make a decision on which neighborhood you want to live in. One of the things I get asked a lot about when clients are relocating from other communities, what's the cost of living in Las Vegas? And while we get a lot of people moving from the coastal cities, especially places like SoCal, Bay Area, Seattle, all of those areas are going to be much more expensive with their cost of living than it is here in Las Vegas. Remember, there's no income tax in Nevada, and sales taxes could be lower here, causing your dollar to go further. And what about housing prices? Well, people who have lived here for a long time have really noticed their cost of living going up. But if you're coming from someplace like the Bay Area, the houses here in Las Vegas are an absolute steal and much larger than you could get in those areas on the coast. Now, I don't know how true this is because I've never had to pay for registering my car, military/retired military. Some people say the cost of registering a car here is more than some other states. Of course, that is if you can get an appointment. That's another story. Or if you're trying to get insurance on your car, from what I understand, we are higher than many areas now. And I believe it's really a point that has to be taken into account what your insurance is going to be, because I think I've heard like Nevada is now number 2 in the nation for the highest insurance. For the car insurance, you're going to have to really look out for that. But, housing insurance, that's actually relatively inexpensive. especially if you look out at like in Florida. You see everyone's trying to dump their houses on the market right now, and it's actually causing the prices to go down. That's because of the insurance rates. They have been jacked up so much, it's not even funny. And as far as the car rates for insurance, we've been told that it's because of all of the tourists we have here. We have a lot of people moving in, moving out. That's because Las Vegas is a transitory town. But if you're coming from one of those states that have income taxes, we don't have that. And that's putting potentially thousands of dollars in your pocket. So yes, you may pay more for your insurance in particular, but you have no state income tax. So you're still ahead in my opinion. And when you start seeing the differences in your paychecks and cost of living, pretty sure you'll agree. How does the cost of living affect your decision to move to a new city? Let me know in the comments below. The next thing you need to be prepared for when moving to Las Vegas is we have 8 months of great weather. And then you'll learn about the heat in the summertime. And while yes, some fools say it's a dry heat, nah, it's more like when you open your oven up. I'll tell you a little story. We were driving here from California. We picked up our cars from the port and, stopped at Bakersfield and everything, drove on in, arrived at the house that we were going to be staying at until our house closed. So I opened up the door and the heat was so much, I screamed and I slammed the door back. Maybe one day I'll tell you the first time I flew a jet story. It's kind of similar. Now, here's a good point to think about. If you have pets, especially your dogs, invest in shoes. I remember one time I was showing the house. Actually, we weren't showing the house. We were doing the inspection. And the owner was getting ready to leave. And he said, "Oh, I got to go put my dog's shoes on." I'd never seen dog shoes before then. He had a pit bull. It was his actual registered service dog because he actually had to have a service dog for real. And I'm like, what? But then you realize the sidewalk is 120 degrees. You're going to burn your dog up if you don't get them pet shoes. So if you're moving here, even if it's wintertime, because you need to get that dog used to them pet shoes. Trust me, get them used to them shoes. Order them suckers. So when you get out here, they're here. When summertime comes, you're not going, "Oh, I can't walk my dog." You already got it. Plus, you probably don't want to walk your dog in the middle of the day anyway, because it is really hot. You'll notice that when you're walking into some of the stores, they may have a little neoprene cover on the door handles because they're metal. And in the middle of the summer, they're going to burn you. And if they're not covered with something, you're going to be screaming. And kind of like the difference between heard about guys like work on fighters, they have to check the pitot heat with the back of their hands, because sometimes if the pitot heat's too hot, you got to be in flying, understand what I'm talking about. Your hand will just cup on it and get burned all like crazy. Yeah, that's what it's probably going to be like. To the ladies, if you got some leather in your car, don't wear shorts in the summertime without having something on those seats, because it's out in the sun. You've been parked out there and it could burn the heck out of your legs. I mean, it's probably the same for the fellas, but let's be honest. Fellas usually wear longer shorts than the females. But there is a 2-letter word that's going to become your best friend here in Las Vegas: A and C. Good old air conditioning. You're really going to go from your house, which has air conditioning, to your car, which has air conditioning, to wherever you're going to, which has air conditioning. I got to tell you something. Somebody warned me before I PCS'd here, moved here for you civilians, relocated. They're talking about when they were stationed in Las Vegas, how at night it will still be so hot. It still is that way. At night, it can be 100 degrees in the middle of the night. But one way that you can really get stuff done here in the summers, let's do it early in the day if possible. Going out shopping, go in the mornings. If you're going on a run, I don't know why you would, but go in the morning, especially before the sun gets too high in the sky. Yes, it's still going to be warm. It may be 100 degrees, 90 degrees or something, but it won't be as hot as in the middle of the day or even at the end of the day, because the heat is still going to permeate inside the sidewalks and everything. But keep in mind, if you're coming from the Midwest and you're coming here to escape the snow, you'll have to alter what you do in the wintertime, because it's kind of like the exact opposite here. Think about what you do in the snow time, but reverse that routine. Now, it rarely snows here in the valley, but it does occasionally. We'll talk about that in a second. It's the same thing here in Las Vegas, except you're adjusting those time frames to the summertime, because our winters are absolutely wonderful. You're going to find out that you want to be outside in the wintertime all the time because our winters are generally mild and you don't have all of that freezing and sleet. It does get below freezing every once in a while. And if you have a pool, you actually run your pool at night because if it freezes overnight, and that could actually damage your equipment. But your pool guy will tell you that. So yeah, it does get freezing in the wintertime, especially overnight, but not a lot. We can have a few weeks where that does happen. So you're really going to be able to enjoy the outdoors, go biking, hiking, go for that run any time of the day during the winter. You're really going to enjoy not shoveling snow to get your car out, or worse yet, I know some parts of the country, you got to shovel it out and then put like a lawn chair there to save it and hope some person doesn't come along and steal your spot that you spent 2 hours shoveling. You don't have to worry about any of that here. You're going to have a great time here in the wintertime. If you miss the snow, not to worry. We have snow in the surrounding mountains. We've got skiing, snowboarding, all that stuff, and whole winter play line up on Mount Charleston. And when you're done, you come down here and you ain't got to worry about it anymore. You're back to the great weather in Las Vegas, except for during the summer. What about jobs? The job market here in Las Vegas, you would think the only thing that's available is casino jobs or working in a hotel. While a good portion of the jobs here are in the hospitality industry, most are not anymore. We really diversified our economy, especially after, the Great Recession. And you'll find that the industry here is very robust. And when you see all the expansion that's happening all over the Las Vegas Valley, you're not going to have that hard of a time trying to find a job here. We are a hotbed for entrepreneurs, businesses either expanding part of their network to Las Vegas or actually starting their entire business from scratch right here. We have great tax incentives for businesses, and our community is so strong that chances are you may know somebody who lives here, and especially before you come here, you can ask them, hey, I'm looking for a job in this specific field. They may be able to point you in the right direction. As a matter of fact, I still have some job resources. If enough people ask the question, I'll start posting them in the videos, and there's actually I have some really good sources to find local jobs and point you in the right direction. Because you know what? We are a small yet big community. Believe it or not, in a way we kind of take care of our own. But remember, Nevada is the leave you alone state. Believe it or not, I've actually had people reach out to me asking about job opportunities. If you want, I'll put together a video on some of the job opportunities, especially if you're moving here, because we've got so much going on, like Apex. There is a bunch of stuff going on. A lot of neighborhoods are just really out there. Construction is booming. Good luck finding a handyman or anything like that, because you ever seen that South Park episode on not long ago where all the handymen became billionaires? It's starting to be like that. Because I can remember when I could hire my handyman for like an entire day for $300. He's like, nah, I want to be paid by the piece now. I had him. If you've seen that video I did on getting the house ready for sale, man, he charged me like $1,500 in labor for 6 hours of work. Doctors don't make that kind of money. But anyway, that's an aside. So whatever that job you're looking for, whether it's in sports entertainment, government, remember, we got the government, we got the military, we have airlines that are actually based here. There's just so much opportunity in Las Vegas now. You're going to be blown away with what jobs we actually have and how things have changed to really insulate the economy from things like happened during the Great Recession in 2008. When relocating, schools, if you have kids, maybe at the top of your list you want to know about. So Clark County School District is the 5th largest school district in the country. You heard that right. The 5th largest school district in the country. That includes Henderson, North Las Vegas, and all of Clark County, which of course comprises about 80% of the population of the state, because we got some small counties. You ever seen, who was that? One of the sites had that about Montana. It's nothing but a bunch of coyotes and a dude named Fred. Outside of Las Vegas and Reno, it's a bunch of coyotes and a dude named Fred. We got these massive counties with like 300 people in them. Makes no sense to me. Within the public school systems, we have charter schools, magnet schools, career and technical academies, and we also have private schools, both religious and non-religious. No matter what your school choice is, we have it here. You don't have to go places like, if you go to places like greatschools.org, you'll find plenty of 10 out of 10 schools and world-class programs like Bishop Gorman. You know what? Snoop Dogg sent his son there, and my nephew is the quarterback. Well, he's one of the quarterbacks. My wife's not impressed, but I am, because one thing you got to think about. I'm going to teach you this one. If you go to Bishop Gorman here in Las Vegas, that's like going to Harvard. It's like the Harvard of Las Vegas. If you go there, the world is your oyster. Again, she's not impressed. I am, because I know people who went to Bishop Gorman. They can name their price around this place. It's like, oh, you went to Bishop Gorman. So good on him. So you're going to find a school that is going to fit your child's needs and how your child wants to learn within the Las Vegas Valley. There are tons of options. And if you're looking for higher education, you got UNLV, along with College of Southern Nevada and Nevada State College. And guess what? There is now a medical school at UNLV, along with a dental school, a law school. And if you haven't figured it out, UNLV has the highest rated hospitality program in the country. Man, that makes sense, since we probably have more casinos and hotels than anywhere else in the country and probably the world. I've been to Macau, which is considered, a gambling mecca. I'm going to say Vegas is bigger, but that's just my opinion and being a little bit biased. But there are so many options you can choose from. Like I said before, Nevada State College, which also has Nevada State High School. So check this out. Nevada State High School is a school where the kids starting in the 11th and 12th grade can earn college credits and actually graduate from high school. Okay, this blows your mind. You ready for this? With an associate's degree, potentially. How many schools do you know that do anything that cool? So far as school options, there's also so many to choose from. And we also have a very large homeschooling community. The homeschoolers even have their own online school to enhance their learning. Whatever it is that you're looking for in a school, you'll find it here in Las Vegas. Whenever you move to a new city, the DMV is the last thing you want to do. You don't want to have to stand in line. Don't want to have to go through the whole process. But if you're making Clark County your primary residence, and of course, we're talking about Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson, you have 30 days from the time you actually move here to make those choices, or at least changes. And I'll give you a little hint. You have this law enforcement agency, the Las Vegas City Marshals. One of the things they will do is they will cruise around places where there's going to be a lot of people, like malls and everything. And then they will note the out-of-state license plates, especially from California. Because more than likely, they're cross-referencing it. And then they will issue you a $1,000 fine. Bing! Everybody likes money, even in Las Vegas. Of course, there are exceptions for the military. You probably have an exception for like kids at UNLV who came from Idaho or something like that, because most states don't require you to do that. Our DMV does not allow walk-ins anymore. I have to scratch my head on that one, because before COVID they did, now they don't. What changed? Last time I checked, they have the same number of people, but we're gonna stop on that one for a minute. Everything has to be done by appointment only and set up on the website. And no, that doesn't mean you're not gonna still wait. Still gonna probably go there, spend an hour or two waiting just to get something done. And that's if you have an appointment. And that can actually take a month or two to get. So be prepared for that, because you'll see, even prior to COVID, the lines were just round the block, because there are a lot of people moving here since I PCS'd here. Moving for you civilians. We've grown 500,000 people in Las Vegas. That's one of the reasons all of that traffic I talked about earlier. Yeah. So if Las Vegas is not your primary residence, we're looking to move to a new city. It's not just your kids that are probably a little anxious. They're moving schools. They have to make new friends. Even as adults, you feel a little stressed out about what's going on. Who are you going to meet? What's going to be your new tribe, your friend circle? The best way I can tell you to do that is to reach out to people you may already know. If you're PCSing, reach out to your unit. What are they involved in? They may already have a whole bunch of things that they're doing as a unit. Or if there's something specific that you would really love to do and you're new to the area, I have an idea. Try the Meetup app and find a group that you can start hanging out with. There are so many organizations here in town, whether it's a nonprofit, whether it's the meetups. There are service organizations you can join, and you have so many advantages to make your time here more great. If you have ideas I can put into a new guide, I'm writing one right now. That's what I talked about earlier. I'm trying to write the ultimate Las Vegas moving guide. I'm looking for ideas, and I need your help. I can use your guidance to make something that's really interesting that people really want. Instead of me telling you what you want, I want to know what you're interested in. And of course, these videos I'm going to make from that guide too. And then in your master plan communities, there are so many community events. They put them on throughout the year. So if you're in places like Summerlin, you're going to find a calendar of events. You're going to find a calendar of events for the residents that you can join. They have movies and all kinds of stuff in the park. There's a lot to do around here. You don't have to go down that strip. Trust me, if you're moving here, unless you're getting a job down there, you're going to go down there once or twice a year. Except for maybe your first year here, you're going to be excited. You're going to want to go see a show. And you're really going to find out that we have a very diverse community of people. And whatever you are interested in, chances are you're going to find other people who are in it as well. You can invoke your inner nerd. I've seen places with 3D printing clubs and laser clubs and just crazy stuff I never heard of. If you're moving here to be in one of our active adult communities, I would say your problem is already solved, especially if you're in the larger ones. You already have a built-in meetup with the activities they have all day long. Everything from line dancing to cheerleading. Go 80 for Brady. I haven't seen that movie yet, but it's going to be interesting. Active adult females cheerleading. Boom. That's for you. That's what you got. If you have trouble finding a group that you really connect with, reach out and hopefully I'll be able to point you in the right direction. For more videos on relocating Las Vegas and other real estate tips, make sure you watch one of the videos that's appearing on the screen. If you're new to the channel, I'm Eric Hudson. If you need any real estate help, call, text, or email. If you found this video just a little bit helpful, please do me that quick favor and subscribe. I'll be your go-to real estate advisor, specializing in helping you relocate to Las Vegas. And as always, we'll keep the lights on for you. To my military brothers and sisters, Alpha Mike Foxtrot.